loosening of movement restriction orders in Manila leads Tzu Chi Eye Clinic to reopen. Dalin Tzu Chi volunteer recruits others to make popular vegetarian zongzi for charity. I'm Sean Scanlan. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. Let's get started. As the Philippine government eases the lockdown in Manila, Tzu Chi Eye Clinic was able to reopen again, catering to patients with serious eye diseases. For non-emergency cases, telemedicine was used to avoid group gatherings. Here's more.
The suture of the ophthalmic surgery done before the city lockdown was finally removed.
Now I feel relieved.
Another patient, Marita, got her diagnosis report.
Owing to the pandemic, we could not go to the hospital to seek treatment as they were filled with confirmed patients. So they cannot accommodate those patients like us who suffer from serious eye diseases and need to undergo surgery.
The lockdown policy in Manila is gradually relieved. After 3 months, Tzu Chi Eye Center is open again. The epidemic prevention measures are strictly followed during the whole consultation process.
After finish, we clean the room facilities. Wall to wall, we use disinfect like everything. The reason we get to come back because our patient had missed our care already for so long, 3 months. Especially those chronic eye diseases like glaucoma, macular degeneration, which need to be closely monitored.
For patients with mild illness, doctors will continue to conduct consultations through phone calls or video chats to avoid group gatherings, so that each patient will obtain suitable treatment without any delay.
To fight the COVID-19 pandemic, Tzu Chi Indonesia Chapter and the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce, along with government ministries, signed an MOU to support a lab to test specimens. Meanwhile, Tzu Chi worked with the military for continued distribution of daily supplies. Here's more.
Indonesian Ministry of Technology, Research and Higher Education has set up a mobile lab. It is able to test 120 specimen samples in 12 hours. The technology and reagents are developed in Indonesia. Tzu Chi Indonesia Chapter, Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and IMTRHE have signed an MOU to support this research plan.
This is a good start. In the past, reagents were imported.
Supporting development of medical equipment with technology, it is most urgent.
The mobile lab can speed up the tests. The public does not need to go to hospitals, reducing the risk of being infected. Meanwhile, Tzu Chi also joins hands with the military to counter Bikasi for the 4th time to distribute daily supplies. Most of the residents are scavengers and stalers, and they desperately need help.
My income has been affected. In the past, I earned about $5 a day, but now it is very difficult to earn even $3 a day.
The daily supplies have come in time to keep hunger at bay.
Thank you for giving us supplies. This is enough for a week.
The Myanmar government is ordering residents to wear masks. However, many families can't afford masks at this time. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers are helping out families and healthcare workers in need by making reusable masks. Let's take a look.
It's my first time sewing fabric masks. When I began, it wasn't fast. It was very difficult to sew.
This coronavirus pandemic has affected many people, including new work experiences.
We normally make clothes and pants. We never make masks before. It took us about 15 days. Mainly the plastic strip for the nose was the issue. We couldn't buy the material in Myanmar, so we purchased it from China, which took a little bit of time.
This mission to make masks is never too late, as in Myanmar, one surgical mask has risen from originally 50 Burmese cats to 900 Burmese cats.
We combine the distribution with our farmers who need help, and they were grateful to receive it. These reusable masks have been provided by the Taiwanese business here as well as elsewhere. We're so thankful they are able to help us.
In total, 20,000 reusable masks were made. Tzu Chi also sent some to the Catholic Assisted Living Center in Yangon.
We have about 200 elderly residents, and it has been difficult buying masks for them during this time. Thanks to Tzu Chi for the timely assistance. We're so grateful and have such respect for your service.
The clothing factory also made adjustments to the pattern so the end result may fit the faces of the locals better, which has been a thoughtful touch to the mask at hand.
Alcohol sanitizers were something that few people encountered in the beginning, but now they can be found everywhere. This is thanks to a national alcohol sanitizer production team in Taiwan. To promote self-sufficiency, the COA allocated public reserves of grain for this production, and even private companies have joined in. Here's more. The winery's production line is booming with loud noise, which hasn't been heard for a long time. During the epidemic prevention period, especially when alcohol sanitizer ran out, many people are applauding this production.
This kind of alcohol that we are producing has the right smell when you rub your hands.
This is made from rice produced by the Council of Agriculture.
The annual output of Taiwanese rice is 1.4 million metric tons. Output is greater than demand, and the surplus rice is not only stored as reserves, animal feed, but is also aid to help foreign countries sold to breweries to make rice, beer, wine, sake, etc. And now for the first time in history, making alcohol sanitizer.
At the moment, it's not a question of can do it, but being self-sufficient is the key question we should ask.
TTL's alcohol anti-epidemic sanitizer is estimated to require 25,000 metric tons of brown rice, or approximately 2,100 metric tons a month. It is mostly taken from grain warehouses, including the Wuxi Farmers Association.
Brown rice that came in on January 15th total 1,000 tons, and on April 9th, some 300 tons were withdrawn, and on April 27th, some 356 tons were taken.
Our rice, regardless of supply cost or cost of production, will be fully utilized to support our national team.
Each big tank can hold 2,400 kilograms, and when 10 tanks are fully operational, some 24 tons of rice are cooked together.
There will be a strong rice fragrance because we are cooking under high temperature and pressure. The steam coming out of the exhaust hole will have a thick rice fragrance.
The basic process of producing alcohol sanitizer and rice wine are the same. Both need to be fermented for more than a week, though the alcohol content in the sanitizer needs to be much higher.
After fermentation, the alcohol content is about 10%, and then continuous distillation machine takes place with one distillation concentrated to 52%. And after the second distillation, it reaches 75%. This is what we want achieving the alcohol level for anti-epidemic prevention.
TTL's 6 production lines of alcohol sanitizer include Taichung, Jiayi, Tainan, Pingtung, Yilan, Hualien. The total output exceeds 4 million bottles per month, which safely supports this critical moment of epidemic prevention. To ensure sufficient supply, a national alcohol sanitizer production team not only includes TTL but also Thai Sugar.
Our own alcohol production line produces 95% alcohol, which we dilute to 75% to achieve sterilization effect. We have maintained our original production capacity and have found another outside partner to produce at 75%. So we have 2 lines. These epidemic prevention products are produced at the same time.
The original production of 600 milliliters of medical-grade alcohol was temporarily changed to 350 milliliters of anti-epidemic alcohol sanitizer. From the filling machine to attaching the cap, all these processes have to be revised. Priority has been given to epidemic prevention, which has affected the general public. In fact, the company apologizes for the delay in producing its other products.
At the beginning, we will have some shortages, which we inform our dealers, but they also understand what we are doing, as we are engaged in epidemic prevention work now.
European and American countries are also in shortage as everyone is also snapping up the product. We also asked for supply from Vietnam originally, which had agreed, but then they also ran out as there was suddenly no alcohol. So we went to other countries and continued to search for it.
It is difficult to get imported alcohol raw materials, as these special bottles of alcohols are finally ready to use, as this private company officially joined the National Alcohol Sanitizer Team.
In April, private alcohol companies joined the national team one after another, including Fortune Brewery in Yunlin and in Tainan, CJR, Kunzhan, and Tianchen. For this reason, there's no need to worry about the volume of anti-epidemic alcohol sanitizer. Even if the epidemic situation slows down, alcohol is very likely to become a normal cleaning product. But the ability of the national team to respond quickly, one should even expect that more anti-epidemic products will soon appear in the market. A Dalin Tzu Chi volunteer has been selling handmade vegetarian zongzi for charity for nearly 10 years. In response to the master's recent call to embrace vegetarianism, her orders have more than doubled this year. Recently, 50 volunteers came to help make zongzi. Let's take a look.
Putting the whole bed of dried mushrooms into the wok, the volunteer keeps frying non-stop to make an order of 3,000 vegetarian zongzi.
The orders kept increasing. The master has been calling to embrace vegetarianism recently, so we need to encourage others to go meet this quickly. I kept receiving orders, which finally reached 150 kilograms.
Everyone is saying that chef is good at cooking, making the taste just fine.
The organizer Xu Xiongyin has been selling vegetarian zongzi for charity for nearly 10 years. From a complete novice to now, her cooking is well recognized with the number of orders increased yearly. This year, she especially started receiving orders early on.
I don't know how many pigs will be killed on Dragon Boat Festival. So if we make and sell vegetarian zongzi in advance, the amount of meat zongzi needed will be greatly reduced.
50 volunteers start making zongzi at 4 o'clock in the morning for light hours.
Because it is for charity, many Tzu Chi brothers and sisters are willing to make it. Some are responsible for wrapping, while some are washing the leaves.
The zongzi also come with volunteers' love because many of them come early in the morning to wrap zongzi. You see, this smells so tasty, making you happy after eating it.
The handmade zongzi are made diligently, so volunteers' love and kindness will be spread to the people who consume it.
Tzu Chi Thailand chapter mobilized volunteers to make vegetarian zongzi together. These 500 zongzi will be used for charity to continue to spread the love to the needy.
The bean curds, peanuts, and fried mushrooms are all ingredients for the vegetarian zongzi. It's filled with volunteers' nostalgia for their hometowns.
It's not easy for us to find zongzi abroad that has the Taiwanese flavor, so we're making these for brothers and sisters to feel some festive vibes.
From preparing the ingredients, organizing the leaves, and steaming the glutinous rice, everyone's got their talents. Though it's a hot environment wearing the mask, but everyone is doing it joyfully.
A few days ago, I was helping to prepare the ingredients. Today, I'm here to help steam the glutinous rice and cook zongzi. I'm very glad to come join Tzu Chi's activity.
Seeing the food ingredients Tzu Chi used made me feel that it will be very healthy to eat it. I love the most that Tzu Chi's zongzi has no meats, because I'm a vegetarian myself at home.
The vegetarian zongzi looks delicious and delicate. 500 zongzi will be sold for charity, and the profits will be donated to Tzu Chi Thailand Chapter to continue to do good deeds.
Before graduation, the kindergarten department of Tzu Chi University's affiliated senior high school hosted a 5-kilometer bike ride. Teachers taught children to ride bicycles as parents watched. Let's have a look.
Let's go! The kindergarteners are riding bicycles surrounding the inside and outside of the school with a total length of 5 kilometers. Even though the sun is very bright, they also strive to move forward with perseverance. There are also support groups along the way to cheer them up, so that they have full energy again. Their parents and teachers also keep them company along the way, so they are not lonely at all during the whole process of challenge. When they reach the finish line, they are even awarded a gold medal, witnessing their success.
We have practiced many times. This time we finally succeed.
In the process, I found that my child would also care about other children. He also said with confidence that he would definitely complete it. I think this kind of education is very good for children.
Some children couldn't even ride a bicycle. They learned it gradually through many times of falling down. Now they have completed the challenge, which not only trained their physical fitness.
Confidence, perseverance, and courage. We start developing our children from a very young age. Not only their physical fitness was trained, but also let them know how to obey the traffic regulations. Through safe transportation, allowing them to reach their destinations in the future.
It is hoped that after graduation, the children will face learning and challenges with confidence, perseverance, and courage in the future.
In Malaysia, after 3 months of movement control order, hair salons were finally allowed to reopen. Salon owners must follow strict standard operating procedures, as many cherish the opportunity to serve customers again. Here's more.
In Malaysia, after waiting for nearly 3 months, hair salons were finally allowed to reopen, but they must comply with strict regulations. These include full disinfection of hairdressing chairs and hairdressing appliances, wearing face masks and gloves, as well as recording customers' information and temperature, maintaining a safe social distance. The customers must make an appointment, and the hairdresser's time on haircut cannot exceed 1 hour.
There are difficulties in coordinating these procedures for hair treatment, per hair, and hair dyeing. These processes will take 3 hours to complete. It's actually very difficult. We all have to race against time.
Due to the epidemic, residents couldn't go out and haven't had a haircut for 3 months, which has caused inconvenience for many people.
When I want to have a haircut, I cannot go outside because of the movement control order. My hair was too long, but I didn't know how to tidy up. Just tie it up like an ant. The store owner is also my old friend. We have known each other for more than 10 years.
Cha Huiling has been running a hair salon for 26 years. After reopening, not as many customers came.
My customers are worried about the epidemic because most of them are over 60 years old, so they're very careful.
For 85 days, she was unable to serve for her customers. Cha Huiling said that all this was beyond her expectation.
For more than 10 years, because I managed the store by myself, I took 3 days off a year. At the beginning, it was 14 days. This time, I took more than 80 days off. In fact, everyone has to overcome this difficulty. Since I closed my business for 3 months, because I can't do business, it's zero income. So I have to solve the expenses I need. But for more than 80 days when I stay at home, I realized that in the past everything was very convenient. During this period, I brought my life back to its original point. Let me spend more time with my family and also learn more cooking skills. In short, I communicated more with my children.
Hairdressing is Chua Huiling's lifelong career. She cherished the chance to serve her customers again. A sudden academic situation also gave her another life experience.
Lo Beihua is 40 years old and suffers from multiple sclerosis. Tzu Chi volunteers and team members in Penang have provided her with support and medical consultation. And now, after waiting for several months, she is able to finally return home.
It's called multiple sclerosis. At first, I had no appetite, and I slowly became like this. I can't stay in bed like this all the time. My illness must be treated. My little aunt specially drove me from Johor Bahru to Bukit Majatam to receive medical treatment. Then I met Tzu Chi sisters.
You can't walk or you can't move. Later, I recommended her to consult neurologists of the general hospital. She also wanted to stand up for her children, so we have to help her.
I've been staying here for the treatment for more than a year. I wanted to go back in February. The last time I met my children was on the 10th day of the Lunar New Year, and I haven't seen them again until now.
From the 10th of June 2020, activities across states are allowed.
As the epidemic in Malaysia slowed down, the government gradually eased the implementation of the movement restriction order. People were allowed to go across the states, bringing the good news of reunion to many separated families. In order to stop the epidemic from spreading, many barber shops are forbidden to open. On this day, Tzu Chi volunteer Zhang Meishi resumed her identity as a hairdresser to cut the hair for Lo Meihua, who had not trimmed her hair for 5 months and was about to go home with sincere blessings.
Early in June, she sent me a video showing that she was able to take some steps. She is eager to go home to reunite with her family. As I'm a barber, I am able to cut hair for her, so I trim her hair beautifully so that she can have a new look when meeting her family.
As the hair fell to the ground, Lo Meihua cherished the last time to chat with Tzu Chi volunteer. With a grateful heart, she expressed her thankfulness to Tzu Chi volunteers for their companionship for more than a year.
I'm grateful to Dr. Lo and Tzu Chi brothers and sisters for their care in these days. Since I was sick until now, they have spent their time to bring me to see doctor. When I encounter any problems, they will solve for me. I will miss the brothers and sisters here who have helped me a lot. Thanks so much. Thank you, sister.
Kaohsiung's Guangrong Elementary School held a graduation ceremony inviting students to a 2-kilometer water sports challenge to receive their diploma. We'll leave you with these images. Goodbye.